you see this conversation about video games, there not being any good games, and so many of these companies and studios coming out with these $200 million funded games that everybody's shilling, and all of the YouTubes are so bullish about, and then they flop after 2 months. This conversation is not simply just a conversation of the money spent and video game companies just not being good at making games. It's more so about a shift within all markets, basically all tech markets in this world, coming to a same conclusion that everybody else has been thinking. Life is getting worse. Entertainment needs to be sort of keeping up with the standard of people's lives. I am a regular person living in the US that works a retail job during some pretty bad hours. I work 11 p.m. to 7:30 a.m. overnight. So I know that when I come back to my computer, to my gaming setup, I'm going to want to spend time here and have the best 2 to 3 hours of my life before I have to go back and sleep on that bed right over there to then wake up for work. So now I find myself in the same predicament. Games like Valorant, COD, um, games that came out recently, High Guard and Concord, all of these games are failing. All of the established games are failing. Even people within the Epic Games company is saying that Fortnite is legitimately losing a good amount of its player base. All of the major games are failing while indie games are going strong. Now, indie games are always going to be they're going to have their niche audiences and also have people that are attracted to those sort of games. The laid back, maybe, Souls like Hades, roguelike sort of games. Very small indie studios making amazing games like Claire Obscura, Slate Aspire 2. Those games are always going to have its community. But I don't think those communities are as big as the people that play stuff like Rust, Fortnite, Apex Legends, COD, GTA. Those games are for a more broader sort of audience just because of how much else there is to do. And a game like GTA 6 is legitimately going to change the world to the point where I can predict that maybe the prices and availability of PS5s might the prices might go up. I mean, they basically have, right? They might go up a little bit more. Maybe we'll start seeing a lot more people scalping PS5s, as well as there not being a broad amount of availability at your nearest GameStop, Walmart, fucking Best Buy, whatever. They're not going to be as available. Prices on Amazon might even go up as well. They're already happening with GPUs, so why not be smart enough to make the same assumption that these same events that's happening within the other broader tech industry might not happen within PS5? This is all hardware at the end of the day, right? It's just all hardware. So you have to think the shift that's happening right now is legitimately people saying, we want something better. We want something that's more catered to us and the needs that we have to be entertained on a daily basis because our lives are already getting worse. We're living in an age in which I don't want to say it on YouTube, but we're going through certain, fights. Especially I live in the US. We're going into certain fights overseas, and it's legitimately starting to hurt where we're getting our oil prices are going up, food, helium prices are going up, all of this stuff. And all of these things go in tandem. Video games, tech, the hardware, availability of certain natural resources, even shit like money, you know Bitcoin, gold, all of these things go in tandem with each other because it's all just power plays. There's just a sort of a power shift that's happening in parts of the world like the US or just everywhere. Everybody's vying for power for this new age of technology and innovation, and everybody's trying to get a foothold in it right now because it's the next biggest, let's say, wealth transfer. Right? We had the dot-com boom. We had, sort of crypto, but then now crypto is also starting to see a hit because of, you know, the bubble popping. Now we have AI. So now everybody's trying to get a foothold into this new technological revolution, this new social revolution, and we're all just throwing shit at the wall, right? We have all these AI companies coming out with these companies and these products that nobody's using. We have all of these video game companies that's coming out with these products and these games that are, maybe getting 100,000 concurrent players over one weekend, but then in another week, by the next weekend, they only have 20,000 to 10,000, and subsequently the entire studio gets shut down. So what am I trying to say? we I if a company is looking at this video right now and wants to know how the consumer thinks, how the person that only has a little bit of time every single day wants to spend their time, whether it's through movie, video, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, you know playing video games on their PS5 or on their PC, we don't have the time because the world itself is getting worse. I don't have time to invest into a new video game like High Guard, a new shooter, a new cookie cutter copy and paste shooter just because I put so much money into it. I don't We don't care if you put $200 million into a product and it's nice visuals and graphics. We already have so many games that do that. So, and the fucking Rockstar, Take Two Interactive, whatever company just got hacked, and now the the people that hacked is now trying to get ransom money from out of it and shit. So, like, all of this shit is happening, and GTA 6 really does feel like the last bastion of hope in terms of actually having a game in which you could go in there and literally do anything and create anything. What people don't understand too is this is not just a game that's coming out, it is the biggest and most anticipated game of all fucking time. They're like, outside of just the game, companies like YouTube, Twitch, probably Kick, they are probably already just looking at this platform and seeing how can we cater to the audiences that watch this sort of content? How can we cater to the creators that create this sort of content? Because the money and the revenue generated is going to be so immense. You cannot just afford to ignore it, right? This is the biggest and most anticipated game of all time. And what it means for the broader industry in terms of tech and entertainment is that people are getting tired. And now the standard is all the way up here compared to when it was down here a couple years ago, right? Before, you could just release a Valorant, you could just release a League of, I mean, not League of Legends, that's established. You could release a Valorant, you could release a Delta Force, very notable great studios. Like, these studios and these companies are making amazing games. But then again, you cannot keep on beating a dead horse with the same sort of concept of shooter, this, that. People want to do more inside of their games, especially since things like hacking is so rampant. People are getting tired. I cycle Valorant and all these other games off of my computer daily because I get so tired of it. I've been playing games. I've had a PC for 5, 6 years. I've had a PS4 for 4 years and I sold it, but I've been on PC for a long time, for 5, 6 years. And now, what I want as a working individual that barely has time is to make sure that my 2 to 3 hours every single day that I'm coming back from work and I'm on my computer is well spent. I don't have time to hop into a Valorant or a COD match and deal with cheaters. I don't have time to hop into a Splitgate 2 Arena Unloaded match and deal with loading times and bugs and cheaters and the lack of content. We need to do better. We also, as the consumers, need to hold these companies accountable. And we have been. These games are dying. I don't think there should be sympathy for these games either. You're just going to keep on throwing money into these games and these companies, and they're not delivering anything innovative. So that's why a lot of people are looking at, Rockstar and Take Two Interactive with GTA 6, and they're looking like, yo, like, what are we gonna do? We have to release these games now. These companies are even rushing out games just to get it out there, and they're failing. These games are not going anywhere. They're looking at what GTA 6 is about to do to the industry, and they're like, yo, if we don't make it now, like, the entire industry might just be 45% GTA 6 content. The content that I plan to make. I plan on getting a PS5 to make GTA 6 content because the opportunity there is so good. Because I like GTA. Other people are already making channels for GTA 6. There is already a big part of YouTube that is just the GTA 6 community that's getting tens of millions of views, probably in the hundreds of millions of views, just talking about this release because it is the most anticipated release of any sort of media content, entertainment content ever. This game has been worked on for many, many years to the point where even GTA 5 is still being played by tens of millions of people. So you have to think, how many copies will they sell on day one? Y'all let me know in the comments, right? Y'all let me know in the comments how many copies y'all think GTA 6 is gonna sell on the first day, right? Just the story mode out. Just a story mode. Just it being on PS5 and maybe Xbox. I forgot if it's gonna land on Xbox. Y'all let me know how many copies y'all think it's gonna sell, right? Because it's gonna be crazy. People are projecting some crazy numbers, and it's like you cannot just be like they're just capping or it doesn't make any sense. It's GTA 6. People are not buying games right now in anticipation for this game coming out November. Think about it. Some people are willing to save their hard earned money. I personally will be saving for the next couple of months just to buy a PS5, maybe 2, 3 months before the release, because I know the prices probably will go up for the PS5s in the short term. Not a lot of people have $800 for a PS5. And that's how it was when they first came out, and it was scalped during the pandemic. Everybody was selling it for $1,000 upwards. Scalping is a big problem. Tech in itself is becoming so just wishy-washy, oversaturated with the same things. And at the same time, all of the prices are going up. So you really just have to wonder, right? GTA 6 really will be the introduction into a new sort of age of video gaming, technological prowess, and even maybe AI. Like the stuff that they're talking about using AI within the game will make it a more immersive experience. Again, AI is not just like, let me look up on Chat GPT how to tie a fucking tie. Like, no, like in terms of video games, if you can make a AI and the NPCs act a little bit more human like, you will essentially be able to convince a person that maybe in real life after they come back from their job, they might not be able to have fun in real life and go out, do all these things because they don't have the time. Then maybe they're taking care of their children or their kids or their family. But you can convince a person that they will be able to have a near life experience inside of GTA 6 itself because of how immersive and how sort of lifelike the game is. Those are my general thoughts. Y'all let me know what else y'all want me to talk about on this channel in terms of video gaming and tech. I will be making more videos like this because we are in a world in which the next sort of transfer of things are happening, both wealth, media, content, all this AI shit, all this tech shit, it's all happening. So we must have these conversations right now because they either will help, a person like me that came up from nothing get maybe to the top or be able to get some sort of foothold on this world, or they're gonna keep all of us oppressed. They're gonna keep a person like me, a person like all of us oppressed. So we must be thinking about these things right now. We must be thinking about how the future is happening right now because the future is happening. Tech, the metaverse, all this AI shit, the sort of raging stuff, the raging events that's happening with the US and other countries in the world. It's all happening. So we must have these conversations right now. It is your boy Wesley the Draco Slayer. Y'all let me know. Y'all let me know. I can't even talk. Y'all let me know what else y'all want me to talk about. Y'all go ahead and hit the sub button. This is my first video on this channel. And we're gonna be doing more of these rants soon. Peace.